going down like confetti today, y'all. I am not playing with the pastors
Well,
today.
listen, you know what? Thank God. Don't play with your or our pastor. Look, but I do want to say shout out to WDB Marketing. The Power Conference was truly, truly, truly phenomenal. It started Thursday night with a fireside chat with Charmaine Riquette and her father, who is 97 years
Wow.
old.
Legacy, legacy,
Legacy.
legacy.
And then on Friday, now listen, this might have been the longest conference I've ever been to, but it was worth every hour, every minute. They had the Power Conference speakers, how to create seven-figure incomes, how to protect your brand and your business, how to start a business. Every topic you could think about was covered. And then on Saturday was the culmination. Oh, and of course, Lil Rel spoke Friday,
Did he?
and Jeezy spoke
Did
Friday.
Jesus talk about his impending divorce, or is he divorced?
No, he just talked all business. He
Okay.
talked about his new book, and I had to get the cliff notes because clearly I have matured and I'm getting a little older. Because by that 8:30 hour, I was tired, and I needed to get home, of course, with the family and the babies because they've been gone all day. But then Saturday was the culminating event, the Legacy Awards Gala at the old post office, which they did an amazing job.
It looked beautiful.
It is beautiful. So shout to Kiana Barber, James Wheeler, and the entire WDB team for a phenomenal conference. And last but not least, on yesterday, Tamara, I don't know if you saw the photo shoot, we reintroduced Valencia to the world with her new bald, beautiful hair.
Oh my gosh, she looks incredible. Like literally, if that's what ball does for some, oh my gosh, she looks amazing.
She told me at church yesterday, I want to put a picture up. I said, we're not going to just do a picture. We're going to get a photo shoot. We went to the rooftop of the parking garage where I charged my car, and we captured some great pictures. And so for those of you who keep asking, and I just got stopped in the elevator, if you didn't read the post, we have announced that Valencia was diagnosed with cancer back in August of 23. And we have been privately fighting this battle and believing God, and we're continuing to believe God. So we're just asking and soliciting prayers, support.
And you know what? The believers here on 1390 are so good at pushing, praying until something happens. Prayed baby MJ out of that hospital. He happily came home and been lighting up the world ever since.
Yes.
And so I am trusting in God and the God in you, believers, to make something happen. Push, pray until something happens for Valencia. But let me tell you something. Valencia is the finest she ever been.
Yeah, listen, you know what? She is rocking the head. The bald head. I told her your new nickname is BB.
Yep, she the best
My
ever.
bald beauty.
Yes,
Listen, she is really rocking it. I'm so excited. And it takes to really hear a story. And one day we're gonna really dive deep into it. But I told somebody, I just told Pastor DeAndre Patterson actually, Valencia had Maddox on a Monday and was doing chemo on Wednesday.
Wow.
And you're women. I'm no woman. I've never had a baby, but I hear that it
I
is
think
not.
You had two babies, literally.
I've never birthed a baby physically.
You went through morning sickness, afternoon sickness, evening sickness. Then you went to a hospital. Yes, you had craving. So I'm gonna say this: with the exception of actually having that baby come through a canal, you had a baby.
Yes, well, I know that it is. You women go through a lot during childbirth, and you are strong to do that. But I say Valencia is extra strong because she did it and then went right into chemo and has been rocking it though. And God has proven to us over and over that He is still God and that He is faithful. And you know what, believers? He's so faithful that we kicking off this week right here on the Brunch Bunch. We got powerhouse guests in the building. We got Commissioner Tara Staff.
What a great way to kick off Women's History Month. None other than a woman who is making history right here in Illinois. And we are super excited. Now, I don't know if you had a plan to change your dial, but you might want to keep it locked, because Tara Stamps, Commissioner of the 1st District, got some things to share with you that you don't want to miss right here on Inspiration 1390.
Welcome,
Intro.
welcome, welcome.
Hey,
Give me
Well,
them
how
glasses.
are
Give
you?
me that lipstick.
you like that? You like
Oh,
that?
yes,
You like that?
girl.
You like that? Hey, brother, how are you? Look, I did wake up this morning and read the entire post because.
Give me that.
Look, now wait. They got your name wrong. They Anna Tammy last year forgot her whole award.
The blood of Jesus. But that's okay.
So-
Because I knew it was coming.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I wasn't gonna worry about it. I was just like, give me my little 15 minutes to play. Pat had to grab me out. I thought he was gonna have a little hook.
Right.
I get up on that and be like, let me. I don't even really want to tell you. Like I do what I do, but I think like people buy into who you are,
They definitely do.
and so if I get any time, I don't really need to take you through the bells and whistles of what county government is. I just want you all to feel confident that you got the right person doing it.
That's right.
So that's kind of like where I go with it. So it was good. But let me tell you something. And as much as there is a testimony that's happening and it's going to continue to happen as you and your wife go through this, it's a testimony for you as well about what that level of support and tenderness and efficacy and all of those things. Because so many sisters have to do that and more by themselves. You know what I'm saying? So thank you.
Oh,
And
thank you
thank
for
you
that.
for just her vulnerability and the strength of her vulnerability, because when other people stand up in that, it empowers other people to stand up in their walk.
Yeah.
Commissioner, would you mind saying that again on air when we come back?
Oh, not at all.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So if it's fine, we
Oh,
use
okay.
it in the
Okay.
raw and
Keep
what's
going.
going on. Oh, I've been moving this morning.
He told me I'm okay with it. I'm not interested in
You see what time I was up? Did you see what time I text you? That was at 3:30 this morning.
I think it's something like
I was
That's
sleeping.
normal for me.
I was sleeping at 5 and back up at 3:30. Oh, I met Zoe's mother. Zoe's mother looked 21.
Are you serious?
I promise. She walked up to me and grabbed me like, I've been waiting to meet you. And I was like, who is this young lady grabbing me? Where my wife at? She said, I'm Zoe's
Wait, you got a
mama.
mingle a minute? She
It's
not
playing now.
It's right now. Okay.
Stay in care and learn as much as you can to stay healthy until
Okay,
it's
perfect.
better moments are made when you remember health is wealth. This memory moment has been brought to you by Pier 31 Restaurant.
We're in the raw with Tamara Fair on the Brunch Bunch.
So for those of you who still do not know, you will know in a minute that March is Women's History Month. And a young woman who's making history actually has been making history for the last 2 years in the space of healing and cafe and soulful Chicago will be on TV today. Spotlight Chicago, WGN, and she will be highlighting not only what is going on at Soulful, but also what's going on in her life, and hopefully it'll give you some inspiration on how you can change yours. Who is that? That is none other than Mariah Fair. Modi for yes, she's doing an amazing job. So that's today on Spotlight Chicago.
And
Now,
what channel?
WGN Channel 9.
Channel 9.
So
Okay.
I don't care where you are in the country, in the world, Channel 9 will follow you.
Mhm.
All you, and it continues to be Channel 9 all over the world, or at least in Jamaica.
Oh, Lord Jesus. You in Jamaica. You.
baby, I'm still a dreadlock Rasta.
Oh, Lord.
Buffalo Soldier. But anyway, speaking of dynamic women making history, we are honored to have in the studio none other than Commissioner of the 1st District, the incredible, the remarkable Tara Stamps. She is dedicated. She's a dedicated advocate for the working class families and leveraging her Cabrini Green upbringing and activism passed down by her own mother, civil rights icon Mariam Stamps. Am I pronouncing
Marion.
Marion Stamps. And with over 20 years in education and leadership roles in Chicago Teachers Union, Tara prioritizes empowering Black and Brown youth. And as commissioner, she champions progressive causes, advocating for fair taxation, which is incredibly needed as I just paid my taxes, and elders' rights, economic development, and many more causes that impact the community. Well, committed to addressing crime is the root cause to Tara's social services investment and supports. She also supports healthcare as a fundamental right. Well, backed by diverse endorsement. I don't know what's wrong with my mouth.
I'm like, is Tammy drunk?
Baby, let me
Take that
this
mask off. Mask off. Mask off.
Tara aims to enact positive change and a brighter future for the first district. Now we are excited to give up.
I gotta just say this before we welcome.
Tara, you know why I'm messing up?
No, don't do it.
I'm telling you, I'm showing you guys this wonderful award that she got over the weekend. If it looks almost familiar, it's because it's an award that I told y'all was going down like confetti today, right? And I didn't get one. So she got one. I'm just gonna hug it. And you tell your pastor, I said, I'm looking forward to getting mine.
I got a word for you. Delayed does not mean denied. But listen, I want to say, Tara, when you were in education, did you work with special education? And I felt like Tammy was channeling that because you were here today. Because if you wouldn't have took that mask off, I said, "Pose on Tink Tink, help."
Get off the short bus.
No, but we are so happy to have you, Commissioner Tara Staff.
I am honored to be here.
Tara, let's dive right in. Your upbringing in Cabrini Green and the influence of your mother, Marion Stamps, have shaped your dedication to advocating for working class families. Can you share how these experiences have influenced your approach to public service?
Well, it's influenced everything I am. I think that's the case with many people and their mamas and daddies. It just happened that my mom was very much so an activist, very much so on the front line, and she was the single mother of 5 girls.
Wow.
My mother came up from Jackson, Mississippi, where she was working with Medgar Evers to desegregate the public libraries in Jackson, Mississippi. And my grandmother put her on a bus the day after Medgar was killed and sent her to Chicago because she was like, they will kill you. So activism started early in my mother's life, and we were brought up in that way. So it shaped everything I am. And I often say that the lens in which I see the world and the lens in which I approach this work, this activism, this mission, is through the lens of being a woman first, Black woman, a mama.
Not a mother.
A mama.
Very distinguished.
And an educator.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I say educator because educators encompass everything that teachers really do in this work, because we're called on to be so much more than just the teacher.
Yep.
And so I just want to honor educators in this moment and honor women during this Women History Month, who are just kind of like holding up this country, literally, and just, you know, holding the line of democracy as we know it. So that's just kind of how I approach this work.
I love it.
Commissioner Stamp, do you think that democracy is being challenged right now?
Absolutely, at every angle, at every, and this is how you know you're doing something right? When I'm sitting in a room of believers, so you all know that when you are about the business and when you are on right, it seems like the enemy intensifies, right? And I was saying at a church, I had an opportunity to speak at a church yesterday, and I said, nobody who bothers the loser,
right?
Nobody says, oh yeah, they losing, let's go attack them.
Yep.
Right. So when you're winning and when you're on the side of right, that adversary is going to be at the door, and that's why it's critical that we stay in solidarity. That's why it's critical that we educate our people. That's why it's critical that we pull on our young people and engage them in this fight in a very active way. And you know that our democracy is under attack because they've rolled back women's rights.
Yep.
In this yet to be United States of America. We are banning books in this yet to be United States of America. And I don't know if anybody else is aware of this, but because I am a teacher, please understand these are some of the very tactics that were used once Germany became under attack. As Hitler began the Holocaust, he did not start with concentration camps. He started with education. He started with destabilizing education. He started with victimizing and accusing teachers of something untoward, like reading. He started burning books. So those are the beginnings of fascism. And so our country is teetering on the line of fascism. So we must be deliberate and aggressive in our advocacy for democracy in this country. And Illinois, quite honestly, is holding the line. As we have embraced all, as we are saying, okay, to these other states that just banned IVF right? Treatments for
Yep.
women and families. We're saying, okay, come on over to Illinois. We will support you. And so much of that, like we are anti-banning books. We are going to encourage. As a matter of fact, I'm a part of a banned books book club, and this
That's
I am. I'm a voracious reader. Right now, I'm audiobooking it. But one of the last books I actually taught when I was a teacher was The Hate You Give. And that's the book that we're using for this banned book club that I'm a part of out of Bellwood. Shout out to Felicia Chase, who was running the book club, and she's a part of the library board. And so I said, this is such a great book because it addresses like root causes of racism, police brutality. It speaks to the Black Panther Party 10-point program, which I was brought up under that 10-point program. And it's also a great intergenerational conversation, which I think is missing, right? It used to be that we had these regular relationships, particularly in Black communities, with our mamas and our grandmamas and our papas and our, all of those folk. We had a real intergenerational connection that's been severed in many ways. So I'm very intentional about reconnecting that because I think there's value when young people can lean into the wisdom of elders, and certainly vice versa, that elders can actually lean into the expertise of young people.
Absolutely.
Now, listen, I'm taking many notes. You are a true educator. You're definitely dropping some great knowledge. And our democracy is under attack in so many ways. And we talked last week. I said, we are not a people that we go tit for tat, but we got to start doing something because when they're challenging IVF and they're trying to destabilize venture capital funds that are investing in Black business. On the way here, I got a call that they're trying to change, and I don't know how true it is, but there's some legislation coming to the city and potentially the state that they're being sued where they want to take away these MBE contracts set
That's
aside.
Been rumored enough to believe there's some legitimacy to it, and so I think we got to dig into that. There's also some rumor mill, and actually not even rumor, where they're trying to destabilize historically Black colleges and universities as well, and their funding. And I'm a proud graduate of Central State University. My other monies go to Alabama State University. And I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
She said Delta very
Delta Sigma Theta. So I carry that in the high sign. Those who know. I'm Chicago, so everybody affiliated with something. So I'm out here, and there is a definite and blatant attack.
Yep.
So I think one of the problems, or one of the issues, let me just make this really personal, that I take with the Democratic Party, although I am an unapologetic Democrat, right? And I believe wholeheartedly in progressive politics. But one of the things that we have to be able to do is be as aggressive in our stance for righteousness as they are in their stance to be unrighteous. So I think we got to be unapologetically progressive. We got to be unapologetically Christian. We got to be unapologetically American citizens. So like there is this thread that we're allowing the right to pull on as though they're more American than we are because of these backdated, racist, aggressive, anti-woman, anti-people of color stances that they are on. And this country is being dragged into that. And America, you have to understand, like the history of America is that ever since slavery, they have been trying to figure out how they can get a permanent poor working class. Being poor in this country is the most expensive thing you can be because when you are poor, everything is more. And so there are people who deliberately benefit from poor communities. Right. So when we're looking at all of the controversy that's happening in our country, in our state, in our communities, please understand that behind that is a dollar sign. And so what I want my people to understand is like, don't get your politics mixed up with the people. The people are pawns of the politics that are at play. And oftentimes we are so reactionary. We're reacting to the people and not the politics.
Well, you have dropped some permanent jewels. Some things that I resonate with is, and we have a lot of people on our show that are in your space, but haven't really delineated the problem in such a way as you have. Teetering on fascism. I mean, you've given the facts. That's real, the reality, and it's something that we need to sound the alarm on. Standing in solidarity. We're a solution-based show, so you have given solutions as to how we can stop this rolling back of the gains of the civil rights that we are doing now. And the other thing that I wanted to resonate with you and is the activists, that the yet to be United States. which means we are still not united.
You got very much
Disassociated with the idea of
Yeah,
being united.
yeah.
So, but as you work toward creating a brighter future for your first district, and number one, I feel much more confident now that I know who's at the helm. What are some of the biggest challenges that you face, and how do you plan to overcome them? And how can we help? More importantly,
Thank you. Very rarely do people ask how can they help. So that's such an empowering. It's warm because, and I love that you led with we are solution based because we can all wallow in the problem, right? That's not going to help anything. And so I think the first thing, and like so, one of the first very easy things that I plan to do is kind of like twofold. One, what the Black Panther Party did in the 60s and 70s is that they had community engagement. They had political education classes. So I will be starting monthly political education classes because by the time you get to the election, the people don't know what's at stake. They also don't know how the politics impact them personally. And so whenever I open up, I say politics is personal. And I like to pull on that thread so that people understand that every personal decision you think you're making, there was policy behind it. Whether or not you get FAFSA, whether or not you get an FHA loan, whether or not you get SNAP, all of those are policy decisions that impact our personal life. So the first thing is to educate the people. The second thing is to empower young people. So as a part of my education classes, I have a very strong focus on young people. And I'm not talking about 18, 19. I'm talking about 12, 13-year-olds that got who got next. This week, a young brother, Jarrell in Broadview, that's who went out on my canvas. A bunch of 16 and 17-year-olds canvassed for me in Broadview. Shout out to Mayor Katrina, who also is like a part of this work of bringing this next generation in. So wherever I'm able, I challenge people to say, hey, you don't have to be a school teacher like me, but I want you all to be intentional and deliberate because that's the only way we can measure success. So find somebody in your church, on your block, whatever, and you say, I'm going to pour into this young person. I'm not going to worry about the oil going on my head and spreading on the floor. No, I'm going to tap you because I see something in you, and I'm going to take the time to develop that agency that I see in you. The other thing that has a lot more to do with like the politics, the nuances, the particulars of the work that I do is I think I was only commissioner maybe 2 weeks when we got hit with that flood on the west side. And I call people, I'm like on the phone, like, what I'm supposed to do? What I'm supposed to do with this good government job? And they were like, nothing, because it happened on the city. I was like, you're kidding me. And then I was like, the water don't know that.
Right.
So if this job comes with some resources, then I want the resources so that I can help the people. And that's what I did. And so I said, I want everything Emma and Talia Farrell got. I want anything that Emma Mintz got, anything Talia Farrell got, I want coming through the first district. And we were able to advocate for that. And so I started basically a mutual aid, me and another brother, just like on the corner giving out stuff. And then I was able to kind of call the right departments and get resources. And so I started there. And so what that did amplify for me and really brought it home because I have an uncle that lives with me that I'm responsible for, my mom's last living sibling, who's a veteran and a double amputee. And he was in my basement, like on his bed, like a life raft, because I got about 9 inches of water myself. But in those community meetings, and I went to every community meeting, I was on every phone call with OMAC. Our seniors are neglected. In such a major way. So one of my long range, I don't know, is to have a Department of Aging at the county level because the county has lots of resources, but they're all over the place. And so when you're 80 years old and the water is 10 inches, you don't have the time or the capacity to call 12 numbers to get the resources that you need. So I want to,
since your blood pressure
and your blood pressure's up and your sugar high.
Or you're on the raft trying to survive.
Trying to say, what's up? So I want to make sure, I want to really be instrumental in getting a Department of Aging. And then the second part is I'm establishing a great relationship with the Juvenile Temporary Detention Center, just because I just believe in young people. And that falls under the auspices of the county. So I visit once a quarter. They actually did the Wiz there. And I went and checked that out. And I've been really developing a great relationship with them. So I want to reimagine the way we look at youth incarceration so that it's more about restoration and reconciliation to our communities and less about punishment. So we know the science says that frontal lobe that decides your decision-making ability doesn't develop until you're 25, but we're incarcerating babies at 13, where they're so underdeveloped in their own psyche, right? And their own emotional mental health. And the impact that just the disparate way in which our communities function and how we continue to be neglected and ways that are so critical and so essential to just basic needs. Our young people were impacted by COVID in a way that I don't think we yet understand or have the ability to grapple with. And I want you all to just check out the young people that you know personally.
Mhm.
They're having real mental, emotional unwellness, real struggles with connection, real struggles with motivation, real struggles with just staying the course, real struggles with engagement. And some of that has to do with like community neglect and like this systematic racism, and then a lot more of that has to do with what happened to these young people in that moment.
Yep.
And so we gotta be real serious about our young people. Like I'm watching them not have no coping skills.
Yeah.
Real reactionary, inability to like just sit and receive. So just some very basic fundamental things that
You speaking truth to power, because one of our young people in the audience ready to give you an offering. He like, yes. But before we wrap up, I do want to make sure we point on this before we let you go.
okay,
You were appointed to this seat,
I was.
and now you are up for election on March the 19th.
Mhm.
And I want you to explain to the listeners, the believers, and all of the residents and business owners of the first Cook County District, I'm going to say congressional district, but the first Cook County District, why you need to continue to work and why they need to vote for you.
As if they didn't hear it already.
I know.
But just go ahead and summarize it for us, sis.
Again, thank you. You know, as a believer, I'm going to say this is something spiritual about being appointed.
Mm-hmm.
So that follows me. And I was appointed unanimously. So regardless to whoever's
That's
walking
big.
around with this thought pattern that they were better or best, I got the seat.
Yep.
And was voted on by everyone in the room.
I was
All of
in the
those
room.
people in
Look,
leadership,
Shirley, we
right?
were in the room.
The reason why it's critical to retain me in this seat on March 19th is because the work that has to be done is not for children.
Mm.
This is work for grown-ups.
Mm.
You have to be able to respond. You have to be able to negotiate. You have to be able to work well with others and play well in the sandbox. You got to be able to know what you're coming to the table and what you're prepared to give up, but what you need to walk away with. You need to be in solidarity with playmakers and people who are holding the keys to the gates you need open for your people. And that doesn't happen with a sledgehammer.
Mm-hmm.
That happens with a certain panache and a certain understanding of how people work, how people are wired, and we got a ton at stake. The other part to that is, you know, we're right on the precipice of the DNC.
Mm-hmm.
So our city's going to be hit with thousands and thousands of visitors. The county's going to play a role in that. And just like anything else, when you're able to be at the seat and learn your job, you get better at it, right? And so in these last 6-7 months, I've kind of like gotten a taste, and I'm connecting some dots about how county government works. And I can double dog dare you, by the time I get to this next year, there is so much good that can come from county that can really enhance the quality of life for our people in all communities, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was on the dais not long ago with the gentleman who's talking about Ukrainian Village, and I said, you're right, we need to get down on that end, because what people don't realize is that districts are huge. So the first district runs from like the west end, that's east end of Hillside to the west end of Humboldt Park, Grand to Jackson. That's like the rough cut. 300,000 people.
Wow.
To a district. And my district is really interesting, because it has municipalities, so suburban municipalities and wards in the city. So I teeter there, right? It also has very different ethnic communities.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Black, you got Latino, you got Ukrainian, you got Italian, you got almost everything.
A good mix.
You got a great mix. And so this work has to be approached from somebody who's a global citizen, right? Somebody who understands that I am because you are, and you are because I am, and you got to approach it from that lens of global citizenry. Yep. And be able to say, you can be pro-Black and not be anti anybody else.
Hello.
You better come on.
Hello, listen, that's
know,
it right there.
Things can be true.
Your life experience, your legacy experience, your passion, all prepared you for this seat. It's yours. It's yours for the keeping. So
Thank
we
you.
definitely
Thank you.
thank you. Now, do you have a punch number yet?
I have punch 101 to get the job done.
All
You gotta
right.
have a rhyme with it.
Yeah,
I
like
was like,
Portillo's.
Look, you know, give a teacher a rhyme. I'm a reading teacher. I'm like,
I know
oh, we
that's
rhyming
right.
now? I was at the thing, like, oh, we rhyming? No problem.
But if anybody wants to donate, volunteer.
Oh my God, I have a huge fundraiser coming up March 9th. I would love for you guys to all the listeners out there. You can go on my website, all my social media. It's Tyra for Commissioner. Tyra Stamps 2024. Let me look on this right quick.
And there's no
Right,
donation
it's
too
X
small or too large.
Stamps for Commissioner. Listen, we know we got people at all ends of the economic strata. The one thing, their money might be different, but they hope for what they want in this state, city, country, county is not. We want quality housing that's affordable.
Safety.
We want safety. We want our babies to feel safe, and we want them to secure an education that's going to propel them to the future. We want them to have skills and abilities to have a decent income. We want a pathway to the middle class and the upper class, so you entrepreneurs get on your thug bizzle. Like we want quality, affordable health care. We want the same things, even though our money might be different. And so no amount is too large, of course, and certainly no amount is too small.
I love it. And you know what? We want all those things. And because we're believers, and if we put our faith and trust in God, guess what? God will provide. It's Tamala Man. God provides right here on the Brunch Spot.
Thank you, because I was very enthralled. I would have let her keep
I
on
know
talking.
you listen. Tammy is enjoying it. I'm like, she was about to
When I
wrap
feel
up.
when I see another advocate, I'm like, yes, honey. What do you
Look,
need?
the whole
Boots on
room.
the
I'm like, she got
ground.
donations, volunteers, income, Justin's ready to go hit the block.
Right. Right.
We gotta get some pictures. You
Let's
gotta
go.
rush right out.
No. I got, hey, how are you?
Tyra, you smell good, but I can make you smell better.
Is that right? You got to try me with a good time.
Yeah, oh yeah, you late.
I have my own perfume line. That's why I said.
Oh, I'm here for it.
Come on, baby. I miss y'all. Oh, I miss y'all.
Oh, listen.
Buffalo
I missed that. I was in VIP.
Oh my God, you were amazing, Tyra, as I knew you would be.
What I want to do is I want you to cut a commercial.
Yes.
Well, come on. We could. We could on time.
Can we do it now or should we do it? Cut a commercial real quick. How long we got before the show?
We got about 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's
Okay, you
I got 5 minutes.
You
I got
got-
whatever you need.
you can do it without a script?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that would be great because they would all
I'm going to sit wherever they tell me to sit.
sit right here. Can she sit right here for at least to cut the commercial, and then we'll get you straight, Shirley. Sorry. Thank you.
We want to make sure we pushing.
Yes.
Because you are definitely
I mean,
our commissioner.
Hey.
it's a lot of talent coming out of Cabrini Green that really make a difference.
For real, though.
Not making speeches, but making a difference.
You know what? I really want to. Okay. Am I still alive?
Yep, we lie. Hey, y'all, look.
Y'all done got all of that background.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna go right into the elements?
Praise
Yeah.
the Lord,
Yes.
saying, make sure we real appropriate up in her. Okay.
So know what's going on.
So keep it about 60
God,
seconds.
wait.
But that is going to be what's going on. They're going to be what's going on.
No, they got their own
Right,
drum.
they got
Oh, that's right. That's true.
All right.
Just tell me what we saying. What am I saying?
So you just talking about, hey, this is Tyra Stamps, Cook
Push.
County Commissioner of the 1st District. March 19th is around the corner. Punch 101. If you want A, B, C, D, E,
And make sure you say the rhyme because that's what people will remember.
One thing.
and make sure you get your website to
Yeah. And the
support.
donation. So all of that in the same.
She the only one talking?
Yes.
I'm ready when y'all ready.
And action.
Hello, this is Cook County Commissioner Tyra Stamps of the 1st District, and elections are just around the corner. That is your vote, your choice. Please, if you want someone who's prepared to stand up for public safety, public health care, and jobs, punch 101 to get the job done. That is Tyra Stamps, Cook County Commissioner of the 1st District. Punch 101 and get the job done.
All right. Now,
Now,
just
can
add.
you add your donation website? And
yeah.
can you add that to the, so that you don't have to do the whole thing over? Okay.
I like that, Tamara. Making a difference, not just talking about it.
That's right.
All right, quiet. All right, 3, 2.
I can be reached at all social media, Facebook and Instagram at Stamps for Commissioner. And you can see my website, www.stampsforcommissioner.com, www.stampsforcommissioner.com, at Stamps for Commissioner.
Now, I know with our political commercial, we got to put at the end the disclaimer. This
So
ad
we
was
have it.
paid for by, no.
Oh, she has to do it in her own
yeah,
voice? Okay.
paid for by Friends of Tara Stamps. What's your
Friends of Tara Stamps?
friends?
Can
One
you
more
add
time.
that too?
So just add, this ad was
Just
paid
go
for
from
by
that.
Friends of Tara Stamps.
Good. I thought, because I have it.
Oh, they got to have
Everybody
it.
ready? All right, 3, 2.
Paid for by Friends of Tara Stamps.
Perfect.
Bam.
And it's a wrap.
Hey,
One and
hey,
done.
hey. Send me for your smells goods.
I am. I'm going to send you some samples.
Please do. Please do.
All right. You going to get them to
You
her?
want to get a quick picture real
Yeah,
quick?
we get a picture.
Absolutely.
Please, I'm all for. Hey, y'all, we out.
All right, 2 minutes.
Okay, we'll be 30 seconds.
Yeah, we can do it right here.
Oh,
Jurassic 15 for 15% off. That's JurassicQuest.com. Promo code Jurassic 15 for 15% off.
Dreaming of a new home or selling at a great price? LNS Development is your go-to. Expertise in real estate and mortgage
Put up
loans,
the number
we make the
ones, y'all.
process
101.
seamless and rewarding. No more hurdles in your
She should do
property
it zero.
journey. Buying,
you
selling,
do it.
or refinancing, we've got your back. Dial area code
Y'all love gangbang.
70906.
Gang, gang. Okay, you put one on my phone, please. Although I know you guys are ultra professional, and y'all will send me photos and stuff and things.
Property dreams are reality.
Hey guys, it's Tamara Fair
And Action Jackson.
from the Brunch Bunch. Now, your home is not just a place, it's a lifetime of memories, hard earned
Thank you
and
so
shared.
much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you,
darling.
darling.
You know you
God bless you.
Oh,
Authorized dealer, they stand guard over
I
a
will
million homes and
indeed.
businesses,
Indeed.
ensuring safety
Thank you. Any girls, any options.
365 days a year.
And you know what? Their response center
Yeah,
is ever vigilant.
You can put that in there. I put my sorority. I put my
carbon monoxide
Don't
and
say-
medical emergencies. They will fulfill
girl,
everything
you should look at this.
industry standards. With security and automation, they have the power to
Yeah, Valencia looks amazing.
I told her, I said, I got to get you some modeling contracts.
She should have been bald.
Harry Steele.
Beautiful. Who'd have thought?
It needs no filters or nothing.
Are you serious?
866-447.
I was just on that route. I've been around enough photographers these last 3 days. I was.
And make a wise choice to secure your tomorrow.
Gorgeous.
Secure home and automation. You heard the name. Now experience the
She got some video
that they bring to your home.
Instagram.
Call Stacey Chauncey at
You keep trying now. Let's talk about that.
866-447-3344. Stacey Chauncey, 866-447.
She's amazing.
I knew you
Yeah,
were.
absolutely amazing. I could have listened to her all for 2 hours.
On the Brunch Bunch.
Sponsored by LNS Development, helping you build generational wealth.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Listen, it is our favorite day of the week because it is Money Monday. Listen, politics tie into the money. And if you don't know, you will definitely know. But we're so
And
glad.
vice versa.
And vice versa. We're so glad to have back with us the money team, LNS Development, Shirley and Latricia. What's up?
Yes, it is so wonderful to be here. I mean, it seems like we haven't been here in many
Months.
years. I know.
Right. But you know what? You guys have been missed because the believers have been asking, where's LNS Development?
Yeah.
Where's Shirley and Latricia? You all don't have to ask anymore. They're right here. So Tara dropped some jewels on us about
Really?
how politics connects with finances and then putting people on the pathway to the middle class that are not there. And then the middle class on the pathway to leveling up. And that's what we are all about. And you guys have been essential on the Brunch Bunch and the believers leveling up. Now, what good nuggets on this magically delicious Money Monday do you have for us today, guys?
One good nugget that I want to talk about is that at Rocket Mortgage, we have revamped our One Plus program.
Okay.
Whereas initially it was just for Fannie Mae. We have now revamped the program, and now our borrowers that did not qualify for that, because for some reason the criteria to qualify for Fannie Mae is a little bit more stricter than Freddie Mac. So now, if you qualify for Freddie Mac, you can get this One Plus program. What do you ask? What is the One Plus
Yep.
program? One Plus is 1% down. We pay your other 2%, and you just need to come to the table with 1% down, and then you can purchase your property.
Now, let me ask you something, Latricia. Is this for first-time home buyers, or is this any buyer?
This is actually for any buyer. So if you already owned a property, you do not have to be a first-time home buyer to qualify for this program. So if you're coming to purchase another owner-occupied property, you can also qualify for the
Can you
One Plus.
utilize this for a refi?
No, this is not.
Look, Tammy,
tried it.
Tammy.
My thing is the refi is very important, but don't worry about the refi right now. Wait till the interest rates go down a little bit, but get in the game because interest rates are still good at 7%.
I was talking personal. But
Look,
Right.
nothing beats a failure but a try.
I tried it.
If you want to refi, it's still a great time to refi. It's what it depends on where
What
you
your
are.
interest rate
Like, right. And another thing is, don't let anyone tell you what's best for you. There's someone, right, that I had to, a lot of people say, they would say, everybody's saying I shouldn't refinance, but oh my God, I have all these credit card bills, I got to pay this and I got to pay that, and then my car payment. So I refinanced them, and I took them from paying about, let's say, outside of their mortgage, they were paying in debt $1,800 a month. So once I refinanced them, that took it down to $1,000 a month. That saved them. That's by consolidating their car payment and their credit cards, because they said they were just trying to catch
That's
up.
an $8,800 per annum
Right,
saving.
and it's stressful. So don't let anybody tell you, no, don't do this. You know what's best for you.
Yep.
Only you can determine that.
So let me ask you something. What would you say would be the interest rate where people should start thinking about refinancing? 7%, 8%, 6%?
I just
Like if I have a 7% mortgage interest rate, should I think about refinancing?
there's various reasons that you should or shouldn't think about.
Right.
But I actually tell people if you can't go down 2%, get a lower interest rate 2%. But Latricia may want to add to that, but it's generally 2%.
Right, because as a mortgage company, we cannot refinance you unless it's a benefit.
Right.
Nowadays. So the benefit may be if your interest rate is being reduced, but sometimes it has nothing to do with your interest rate. It has something to do with, are we saving you money monthly once we consolidate your debt, which will include your mortgage payment and then also all of your car payment, credit card bills. It's just a lot of things go into, being a homeowner, and also just being, somebody out here just trying to make it.
Yeah.
So, and it gets stressful. Sometimes you think, okay, well, I'm gonna get this, and I'll pay this off in this amount of time. And sometimes you're not able to do so. And so thankfully there are other options.
Did you say thankfully or thankfully?
Thankfully too. Thankfully.
I love the way you put that, because you can bank more money if you just learn. And that's, and that's the reason, one of the reasons, people have equity. It's a way to help you get back on your feet. Or you can, it's not only for, pulling the equity out, let's say if you want to start a new business or, whatever you want to do, but use it to assist you in living your best life today. And that means you may need to do a refinance.
Yep.
But this one plus program with 1% down, I mean, that's like a sale at Neiman's.
Yes,
literally.
yes.
It really is.
Right. So
That's a sale anyway.
What I want to tell our
It's a
buyers,
sale to put down for another piece of property.
right? Don't let rates scare you. It's always a great time to buy.
It's
You
always.
just got to get in the game.
Yep.
Well, I say that because if you were the normal rate that you would put down would be between 3 and 10%, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well,
When you say what?
Not normal
it
rate,
depends.
normal
I mean,
down
normal
payment.
down payment.
Right, now.
I'm sorry.
It
That's what I
depends.
meant. Normal
So
down payment.
conventional for a single family home is 3%.
3%.
Yes. For a multi-unit, it's 5%.
Right.
So, but with FHA, it's 3.5% minimum down payment.
So if you got into the 1+ program and you were previous to this being reenacted, considering buying a piece of property and putting down 3%, you could essentially buy 3 properties with that 3% down that you were going to put down.
Right. Well, no.
Sort of.
Because it
No.
don't work for you.
Right,
No,
right.
it doesn't
I
work.
get what
tried it
you
again.
trying it again. Okay, you
That's not
sit back, Oprah.
Right. But what you can do is pay down your interest rate. Let's say with
Buy
the
down-
other
yeah,
2%,
you
you
can
can
buy
buy
down
down
your
your
interest
interest
rate.
rate.
It's called
Right.
buy
And then
I knew it was a silver lining.
Right,
somewhere.
exactly. So I'm glad you did bring that up. So yes, you can use the other money to buy down your interest rate if you worried about interest rate today, which a lot of people are, because of course the lower the interest rate, the lower your monthly mortgage
Yeah.
payment.
Now, did I hear you say, and just to make sure, You don't have to be. This doesn't have to be your first home to qualify.
It does not.
You can purchase another.
Yes.
Can it be an investment property?
It cannot be invested.
It has to be a single family home.
Yes, it does
Or
have to be single family.
Well, Shirley, you know, me and Shirley, we're looking at each other. We got each
But
other.
let me ask you this question: how long do you have to live in that property before you can rent it out?
How
If you
long-
decide that, okay, I like this property, but I want another property now, and so I don't really want to live here, so now it becomes investment property. Do you have to live in the property when you have an FHA loan? How long do you have to live in that
With the
property?
1+ program.
with the 1+ program, I mean, so we don't like have to say you have to, you know, live in the property a certain amount of time. Are you meaning in the previous property in order to qualify for the 1+?
Well, I was gonna ask that next though, because I want to make sure clarity. So I have a house now, and I have a mortgage, but I want a new house that I just sold in the Austin community. That's 6 bedrooms.
Okay.
Can I use the 1+?
Yes, you can use the 1+ program. So if you just bought, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so if you
Right.
just bought a house, now, of course, things have to make sense to an underwriter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it just depends on what we type up as the letter of explanation, and it has to make sense. If you just closed on something 3 months ago or 2 months ago, they're not going to believe you're purchasing this property.
Right.
Owner
Gotcha.
occupied. You know
So
what I
there
mean?
is a stipulation that it has to be owner occupied.
Yes.
But to
For how
Shirley's
long, though?
point, how long does
Right.
the owner have to occupy it?
Right.
So I'm sure it's like 6 months or
Yeah,
something.
that's
like
what I'm.
that.
6 months to
6
a year.
months.
Because Shirley's saying now I come to you. I got a house, but you approved me for my new house. Now I'm in my new house
Right.
and I'm loving it. But I say, you know what? Now I want to move to Frankfurt. I don't want to be in Austin no more.
Mhm.
Are there any stipulations? Will the bank come and say, okay, you only been here a year, you can't?
No. So that would make sense to an underwriter. You want to leave the inner city to move to the suburbs.
For your board.
Right. It's all about the picture you paint and present to the underwriter. So
Story.
of course that makes sense. So that wouldn't be an issue.
So for the people,
Especially if you've been there for a year.
so for the people like me that's excited about 1% down,
Mhm.
because if somebody could do the math real quickly on a 400, not quick, this gonna be easy math. $400,000 house, 1% down. What's that down payment?
4,000.
So you can get in a new home for $4,000. What are the
Plus
qualifications?
3% I'm gonna get the seller to give you back.
So I may leave with some money.
You may
Right.
leave
Or
with
you may
some
want to
money.
buy down that interest rate at $400,000. You know, that's a lot
You can
of
buy a point
payment.
there.
Yeah.
Which
There's so
means-
many things that you can do,
Yeah,
but the
it
first
is.
thing
have
you need to
options.
do is get pre-qualified.
Get pre-approved. Yes.
So
And-
how do you? What's that magic number, Shirley?
Area code 773-616-0906. Give us a call. We can help you with all your real estate needs.
Now $4,000. People got that on their taxes.
Yeah.
On their
Or they're
tax
about to
refund.
get it
Or
because
you
taxes
about
are
to
just
use your
dropping.
taxes. Yes. Use your taxes for something that's going to start or help you build your legacy
Thank you.
for you and your
Do
family.
not spend your taxes on
On stuff.
purses. On
Right.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buy
Stop
yourself,
buying.
put it down.
Yeah. Don't
down
buy
payment.
bags, buy buildings.
Can I ask you something? Why is it that the purchasing public is so eager to get a credit card at 22%, but so hesitant to get a
That's a
building
good question.
at 7%?
Because unfortunately, the public is used to buying stuff, you know, to satisfy.
Ain't the
now.
building some stuff?
Right.
It's where I keep
It's a
my
lack
stuff.
of-
Another thing, it's a lack of knowledge.
Knowledge.
We
It's
don't
lack of
understand
knowledge.
that 22% interest rate. All we want is a credit card. Now
Because
go
we need
shopping.
the money versus
Right.
we're not understanding.
Right.
And people perish for a lack of knowledge. The
Yeah.
Bible is right, somebody's wrong.
Even
People
with the
will
car.
get a 22% car or
Mhm.
credit card because they don't understand.
Finance.
But that's what Shirley and Latricia are doing. They're changing the brain, which then change the behavior.
That's right. And we thank everybody that came out to our seminar,
Mhm.
opening doors in 2024. It was very successful. We got people that's wanting to buy. We had young men
Mhm.
there who's learning about real estate.
Yes.
I mean, very young, 20 years old.
And
Wow.
speaking of learning real estate, we have someone that just started. Oh,
Oh.
okay, wait. No, not yet, not yet. But yes, it's just I just want to say, as I always say, stop being afraid to buy. As you were talking about the credit card, the credit card is going to give you enjoyment for just right now, and we have to start thinking about
And
our
there's no
future.
equity in that.
Right, it's no equity. It's just a huge monthly payment. And if you look at your statement, look at how much you spent on that stuff and how much they're charging you monthly in interest on that stuff.
And how long it takes you to pay it back.
Yep.
Right.
You know, you guys make it so that the listeners don't even have to go to real estate school. you all break it down A, B, C, D and hold people's hands. And that's what I love. Give that number again. One more
Area
time,
code
Shirley.
773-616-0906. Don't call us now. Call us after 1. 773-616-0906.
Well, I heard great things about the event. We had a few believers in the room that were actually at the conference this past weekend and walked up to me to shout out L&S Development. So you guys are doing amazing work. I just want to make sure that we're honing in on this One Plus program because
it's dynamic.
You changed the game, and it's not just Fannie Mae. It's Freddie Mac. What are the qualifications again?
The qualifications are, so it says the minimum credit score is 620.
Are you serious?
Yes, but again,
620?
Yes, 620. You do have to go through the AUS, which is the automated underwriting system. And then one thing I want to point out,
really mean?
Yeah.
AUS is so once we enter in your application, you go through we have to put you through the system where it's going to underwrite, analyze all of your information. It's going to analyze your credit, your income, your assets, and it's going to say, hey, whether you are approved or not. And this is the
So
system.
that's like AI.
Yeah, it's like AI.
But it's
right.
AUS.
It's
Go ahead. What's
AUS,
the rest
which
of the qualifications?
The rest of the qualifications is the one thing I want to point out. You said $400,000, but it's actually only up to $350,000. Well, actually, you can purchase $400,000, but we only will
finance.
We will only give the 1% up to $7,500.
Oh, okay.
So it just depends on the maximum amount. What's $5,000? But so we do have another program, which is the Purchase Plus, to where this one. And it's another thing. There's an AMI requirement. You cannot be above 80% of the area median income.
Okay.
Right. So that's another
But
qualification.
most of us, when you think about it, we qualify. But the only thing, take the guesswork out of it. Call the professionals and get a free consultation. Shirley will walk you through it, connect you.
A lot of people, that's another thing, knowledge. People think, how much is going to cost? It's free.
Right.
To do an application is free. To see if you qualify is free. I will even assist you with your credit for free.
And it's a soft pull.
And initially it is a soft pull.
So if you're renting right now and you want to get into home ownership and for free, you can figure out with the assistance of these gurus, and all you have to do is call
area code 773-616-0906.
Well, thank you guys so much again. You dropped the mic on this. One plus, y'all. And one plus means that AC Green is coming in here now. So we got the one plus it on out of here. And as always, we always want to encourage you to keep Love 24 alive. Tell someone that you don't know, perfect stranger, that you love them. Show someone that you do know how much you love them. Lead with love. Land on love. I love you, Action Jackson.
I love you, Tamara Fair. We love you, believers. Baby Eminem.
We love you. Up next is AC Green, as I aforementioned, and right after that is Pastor DeAndre Patterson on the drive home. We do it all night long right here on Inspiration 13.9. Don't forget to watch Mariah today on WGN at 3 o'clock. Impact Chicago, y'all. Peace. We out of here. Y'all, we did it today. We packed the house today.
Everyone said,
Oh, yeah, that was.
What else?
that was a good one. I love you, believers. Everyone said it. I never heard it that loud. That was the loudest one.